The fire in Butte County has left some damage.
Yeah, KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz has been there all day. Maricela, what have you seen so far?
Yeah, Lisa, and we've been having to move around because we're not getting enough signal out here, but we are at the intersection of Highway 162 and Kelly Ridge Road, where there are a few road closures in the area, so no traffic is being allowed into Highway 162 and Kelly Ridge roads. Only those first responders we know are being able to go in, and that's because this is one of those focus areas where they started yesterday really trying to control that fire. We know that there were a few structures that were burned to the ground. Fortunately, that was contained to only about 2 homes that we saw and a few other structures. Earlier today, we were also near the Oroville Dam. We were able to see those air tanks, and we saw those airdrops. We were in the area of Bessie Lane, and we actually hiked down a bit to where the fire crews were also doing some of that work, trying to do some of that controlling those hot spots way down into that vegetation to make sure that that didn't spread into the homes. Now today we have been, as I mentioned, throughout the entire Oroville area. We have been speaking to people. We spoke to the owner of a market earlier today. They closed yesterday, but they were able to reopen today, really to serve those first responders and the few locals that have stayed out here. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
It's been very helpful to be able to come over here and just pop and grab a couple of things and just see how our neighbors are doing. We did hear a couple of the neighbors lost their house, and it's just overwhelmingly just blessed that we were safe and that they did such an amazing job last night. It's incredible.
You know, that woman that we spoke to, other people, and even the owner of that market told us that they also took some measures into their own hands. They hosed down their homes. They also added sprinklers on the roofs, which we saw several homeowners doing that before they evacuated the area. But one of the concerns for CAL FIRE was, you know, having all those firefighters out there working in this heat. As we know, they're working those 24-hour shifts, but they are having to take a lot more breaks because it gets pretty hot. We know that there have been 8 injuries among these firefighters. The 4 that happened yesterday, we were able to confirm that those were heat-related injuries. But again, the efforts are here. All these crews are out here. One thing that we did notice that was kind of interesting right now was that several people have not been allowed into the Kelly Ridge area. Drivers going into this area, however, at that intersection, you can see a few vehicles that are parked out there. We have noticed that some people are parking there and then walking into this area. I just spoke to a man a few minutes ago. He was carrying some items that he purchased at this corner store, and he said that he wasn't being allowed to drive in, but he could walk in. He was walking about 1/4 of a mile in there, and well, there you see it again, just people trying to go back into their properties, maybe to check that out, but then being turned around by the CHP and other neighboring agencies that are all hands-on and just trying to keep the area safe and keep residents safe. For now, we are live in Oroville. Maricela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
Yeah, keeping people safe, the #1 priority. Maricela, thank you. CAL FIRE says 28,000 people are under evacuation orders right now. Those areas highlighted in orange on the map. This is around the Cherokee area of Oroville. The areas in yellow are for warnings, and people who live in those areas should be ready to leave immediately. There are 2 evacuation shelters in Butte County right now. Those can be found at the Oroville Church of the Nazarene and the Butte County Fairgrounds in Gridley. The small animal shelter in Del Oro, it's already at capacity, but Butte County leaders say they're working to find another facility. The large animal shelter at Camelot Equestrian Park in Oroville remains open.